Hey, what's going on to you, Capricorns? So, you have the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and you Capricorns have the Ten of Pentacles. So, these three cards right here for you Capricorns are very much so about how you Capricorns, interesting. So, what I'm seeing here for you Capricorns, right, is okay, so this is about how you Capricorns very much so choose to carry yourself versus ultimately how others will choose to carry themselves with you, right? The reality is you Capricorns are carrying yourselves with a lot of grace and a lot of respect, and other people are choosing to interact with you from a delusional standpoint. They're coming at you from a very disrespectful standpoint. And you Capricorns don't really understand exactly where it's coming from. It looks crazy. Because what I'm seeing here is the Ace of Cups is about you have a lot of love to give. You Capricorns are just showing it to people who really don't deserve it. Because there's one thing that I've been doing the research to, is that a lot of people are really out of their mind. And a lot of people end up not being in relationships with you because you have to listen to the subtext. The subtext is a lot of people are really delusional and they know it. And the reason why they end up dumping you is because you're too good. Like I've been saying, like I've been talking about. Now, why that's so important, because we have to evolve with this, is because you Capricorns are looking at it from a wrong perspective. Y'all are asking yourselves, why exactly is it that these people are wilding out with you? And what you Capricorns are not understanding is they're wilding out with you because they know that you're better than them. See, this is what hypergamy does. This is what happens when you have an overactive, hyper-competitive nature. It puts you in a position where you start looking at people like who's better than you, who's not. They don't look at it from a perspective of this person might be better than me, but I've got my own lane that I've got to focus on. Right? It opens up too many of the lanes, and they try to bunch it into one lane. And this is why it is that you have cars making a huge traffic jam. It's because there's not different streets. There's not a lot of different pathways, right, that people can essentially take. Essentially, the United States dream is that so many people in the world is caught up with the United States dream of you got to climb the social economic ladder. So when you Capricorns are out here trying to get to know people, regardless of whether or not you're in the United States, regardless of wherever it is that you're watching this from, the delusion of grandeur is a real problematic thing. Because this fascination with social media, the fascination with like getting money, the fascination of how people don't have integrity or stuff like this, they don't have decency, and how this ideology has affected and touched everything is sickening, right? So why that's important is because the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands is that because if you don't pay attention, you will be thinking that it's something that you did. Because what I'm seeing here for this overall reading for you Capricorns is that, like, yet again, y'all are getting stuck again with the ideology that you need to break up one out of. Because you Capricorns have been in this mentality a little bit too much, too long. You have this idea of you're still trying to figure out, like, okay, your own importance. You're still trying to figure it out. Well, what is going on with this? What's going on? The truth is, Capricorn, is that the truth is this. The truth is that there is a such thing as love. The problem, though, is that you have a lot of mentally ill, delusional people. Like, come on, like, let's stop. 40%, like 40. Come on now. You know how many people are taking some kind of medication and stuff like this to deal with their mental problems? Documented. A lot of the people, listen to me, a lot of people are, like I've been saying for the longest, I've been saying this stuff for years. A lot of people that you see, they're not mentally correct. And the thing is that the Two of Swords and the Lovers and the Eight of Pentacles, you Capricorns are still at a point where you were debating. You were having too many discussions. You were trying to convince another person to date you, right? Because this is what the majority of people are getting caught up in with these podcasts and these talking points and videos and all this crap. There's too much negotiation happening, which makes the dating pool look odd. This is what makes it look terrible, because it's too many it's too many negotiations. You shouldn't have to negotiate. The person either wants to give you a chance to get to know you, or they don't. And if they don't, respect it and move forward. The Eight of Pentacles represents you have had to learn that hard lesson yourselves too, right? Still learning the process of how to walk away. That's the problem that's messing up a lot of you Capricorns. You Capricorns aren't moving enough because y'all are still caught up with the trappings of, like, well, why is it that this person doesn't like you? Let me break it down to you. They don't like you because a lot of the times they're messed up. Like, truth be told, a lot of the times people who come to the United States, and the people who maybe they may be in a different country, but they have this United States mentality, they go crazy. Because if you ever paid attention to the way that a person acts in a different country, right, with some family values, and they come to the United States, they literally go crazy. Because I've seen the juxtaposition, I've literally seen the juxtaposition of how they move in a different country where family values is more important, and then how they move in the United States. They literally go crazy. They literally adopt a whole other brain wave, adopt a whole other mentality. Their brain get taken over by an alien on some invasion of the body snatchers, aka the faculty type stuff with the parasites in them, where they have this they get deluded. They have this ideology, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that people just can't understand what freedom is, and without having to do too much, without having to get crazy with it and not a hand with it? See, showing and proving why freedom is a must, but it shows and proves why some people are psychotic, because they're out of their mind. They're off their rocker with it. And this ain't me giving a diagnosis. I'm not a doctor. What I'm trying to say is the mentality is whacked out, is what I'm saying. The mentality is way whacked out. You dig what I'm saying? The Three of Wands and the Queen of Cups right here is about how I'm telling y'all how it is. The Three of Wands and the Queen of Cups is about how, and this is what makes it harder to date, because the Three of Wands is that this is why it's in the state that it's in, right? Because there's not a whole lot of compassion. You Capricorns have to stop getting bent out of shape, because what I'm seeing here is y'all are dealing with this. Y'all are still caught up in the trappings of, like, why is it that this thing is, why is this? And it's like a lot of you Capricorns are not understanding So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you yet again. You Capricorns don't understand yet again that the reason why a lot of you are having a terrible time in let me look at the camera. The reason why you Capricorns are having a hard time in relationships is because you Capricorns, listen to me, listen to what I have to say. Here, and in here, you Capricorns are too good for the majority of the people that you are engaging with. So a dysfunctional person is going to do what a dysfunctional person does. They are going to waste time. They are going to be a parasite. You got to understand that most parasites, when you actually pay attention to parasitic organisms, they're not intelligent. This is why a lot of you Capricorns will also see the brain drained, intelligence drained. People don't use common sense anymore. Like, there's no use of common sense. It's the social media. Like, you gotta understand, a person who's out of their mind don't want you to text them and call them right back, or whatever the case may be, or whatnot, because they find that to be unattractive, right? There's something unattractive about that. No, they're just mentally ill. Or maybe not. But the definition of it, right? Not necessarily diagnosing them, but the definition of what mental health is and the lack thereof is what I'm trying to get at. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the things that people do, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to really pay attention to what's actually going on out here. Let me turn this into a teaching moment and give y'all a game. A person who is mentally healthy is not going to have a problem with y'all going back and forth texting. They're not going to have a problem with calling y'all. They're not going to have a problem with not talking to you every day. You know, they're going to give you a little bit of a break, a day or two break, just to do your own thing and relax without having to, you know what I'm saying, feel like you pressured and they have to talk to you, right? They're going to give you some space a little bit, you know? So if a person is not respecting these principles, if a person is constantly calling you every day, texting you every day, you know, getting upset at you over small things, you know, wasting time, playing games with your head top, you know, playing mind games with you, that's a whole dub. That's a person that's dedicated themselves towards stressing you out, because again, it's mental illness in on itself to want a wonderful relationship, while at the same time, on another hand, at the same time, the importance or the whole principle of the relationship is to cause mischief and toxicity and dysfunction and disarray and nihilism and stupidity. You can't have both, because one time people say that they want good intimacy. Well, the best way to make intimacy is to find a particular partner that does what they do well on both sides, regardless of whatever, meaning both sides need to do that regardless of whatever it is that you into. Find yourself a person that is trustworthy, that is a decent, clean person that is trustworthy, that ain't gonna commit that isn't gonna commit infidelity, right? Bringing anything back to you, or no goofy stuff like that. The two of you build trust, you build your relationship, okay? And if you do it correctly, y'all don't smash every single day. Y'all hang out, y'all do your thing, but you do not smash every single day. Sometimes you can smash, a few times a week, but then other times moderation, right? Sometimes you may smash a lot within a given short time period, and then another time you may say, you know what, let's go ahead and actually take a break. Let's let that lust, that desire that we have for one another actually build in us. And when we release it, we actually end up feeling real good about it, right? I'm showing y'all some tantric stuff. This is stuff that I learned when I was literally 15. I'm about to be 33 next month. You dig what I'm saying? So But you can't do that if the if the entire importance on is on arguments and dysfunction and calling the cops. And why? Because when are you going to find the time to actually get that, again, another thing too, that generational wealth? When are you going to find the time to build the generational wealth, have that good intimate fun that you want, if the two of you spending most of the time not talking to each other, not seeing each other, bickering, arguing, calling the police? How does that work? But then on the other hand, the person is saying that they want these things because they're not Mr. or Mrs. Right. So you Capricorns got to get to a point where you got to stop with the mental gymnastics and break free from it already and stuff like this. If y'all want a real relationship, cool. Then do that, right? Because a lot of y'all have a lot of things working for y'all. But at the same time, truth be told, stop wasting y'all own time. Let's clarify the Queen of Cups. Knock it off with the mental gymnastics of doing better and then not doing better because you over questioning it. Like, stop doing that. You have the Moon, Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and then you have the Knight of Pentacles. What's up? To clarify the Queen of Cups, the Moon and the Two of Pentacles is about how you simply have to stay, you Capricorns simply have to stay away from people who are bringing you stress. Simple like that. If they don't want to cooperate, if they want to be hard-headed, you got to leave those stupid, mentally ill people alone because they are probably mentally ill. And I'm not diagnosing it because I'm not talking, I don't know about how to diagnose and all that crap. But what I know is it's not mental health. Because I'm going to tell you what mental health looks like. Mental health, look, my idea, I have to say this, my idea of mental health is when you're resting properly, when you're getting good quality sleep. It's not just always about the length of sleep, it's about the quality of sleep. You're getting good quality sleep, good quality exercise. You're learning how to manage your stress. That's a sign of mental health. You being healthy, you actually learning how to go within oneself and cure the heartbreak and the bitterness and the anger and the resentment that you've experienced from shortcomings and your follies and stuff like this. Not wasting your time arguing and bickering constantly, wasting your life. Right? Person is wasting their life. They in their 40s still wasting their life talking about some nonsense and whatnot. It's like you putting all of this time wasting. You gotta hurry up at some point. You gotta stop at some point. Or you gonna be what in your 90s doing is the majority of your days is behind you. So that's it.